Alright then, hopefully this is working this time. I have had to restart things because nothing was coming through on the channel, which was a bit frustrating, but let's see if this one's coming through. No, I can't see it. Just, I have no idea why this is not working. Here we go. That took a while, didn't it? Alright, hopefully you guys can hear me now. Let me stick the volume on, just see. That took a while, didn't it? Yeah, that's definitely my voice. Don't need to hear any more of that crap. Just going to stick a thumbnail on the video. And James, I don't know what happened with that first attempt of the stream. Like, absolutely nothing. I can't see it anywhere. So, obviously it just didn't come through. Something glitched when I was trying to set up the stream. Not sure why, but it is what it is. Anyway, so where are we? We are at Deep Forest for round 1 of season 12. Hopefully the video is coming through fine, nice and HD with no errors or anything like that. I will try and grab up the qualifying results if I can find them, just so I can run you guys through the grid and we can see how close the grid is. I know tier 4 is one of the most competitive grids this season. We had a lot of variety in our preseason predictions, which is normally a good thing to go off of in sort of guessing how close the tier is going to be. So I'm pretty sure the qualifying will be quite close. I know they had a headwind for the whole race weekend here, which might negatively impact some of the times that these guys were doing. But we'll have a look in just a second. Right, I'm just going to use my phone. It's going to be much easier to get the times up. So let's go to the grid. We are watching a replay shared by Joe Leary, so hopefully he's got drivers information. No, he's got nicknames on. Oh well. So I'm going to have to try and figure out who these people are. Hopefully they won't be too bad. So tier 4 qualifying, we've got CCK Kutch took pole with 26.6. So yeah, I think he was one of. Actually, I think the top 2 here are the top 2 most predicted in tier 4 for the title. So yeah, CCK with a 126.6, 2/10 clear of Pyro in second in the M6. 2 very good cars here for these guys. Pretty sure the banned cars for tier 4, they had quite a few good cars banned. The Porsche, the McLaren, and the Gen X, I believe, were all banned. Can't see any of those on the grid anyway. And yeah, I'm pretty sure those 3 are 3 of the best 5 cars alongside the M6 and the RX Vision from what I've been hearing. We've got Steofan less than a 10th behind Pyro in third in the Mercedes, with Oscar another less than a 10th behind. Okay, 4/10 off the lead still at this point in the BRZ. We've got Auto driving the Lexus 4/10 behind, with Cunningfern 6/10 off the lead. Geordie in the new Supra in 7th. He's dropped down away from last time I've seen him driving. Geordie actually peaked in tier 1 quite a long time away. A long time ago, sorry. We've got JMS in P8. We've got SJK in the Jaguar F-Type, 300ths of a second ahead of his teammate Joe Leary, also in the F-Type. We've got Amy then in P11 in the Lexus. Andres in the BRZ in P12, Jezza in P13 in the RX Vision. Look at that, 2 teammates almost complete opposite ends of the grid. Then we've got 2 Atenzas with OG, who is C Montero, and RPM Inorganic, who I believe has dropped down a tier, so probably don't expect too much from him for this race. And then we've got Black Charizard, who I don't think set a proper fast lap in qualifying based on the time that he set, almost 2.5 seconds off the rest of the pack. So we're going to get into qualifying now. I think it's about 10-11 laps I'd be expecting here. Hopefully my voice is at a decent level compared to the game audio. It's 5 red lights and it's going to be CCK Kutch leading the way. I'm not too sure how good the RX vision is off the start line, and I'm not sure why we're watching the back of the grid. It looks like a really good start from Stefan there. It's 3 wide into turn 1 here. Pyro got the inside, CCK Kutch on the outside, braking really late here. Pyro taking the inside line. CCK Kutch is pushed out wide, and Stefan has got up to second, and Cunnington, Oscar Bacon also getting positions up ahead of CCK, who's dropped quite a way back. And I tell you what, that does open up the grid here for Pyro and Stefan, who set really good qualifying laps to maybe pull away from CCK, one of the other title favourites here. Everyone sort of one by one through this section of Deep Forest. I tell you what, this race really has produced some good racing throughout the tiers here, which I wasn't really expecting. But it is very much single file through this section. Hopefully there's going to be no incidents. CCK with a poor exit here onto the straight. And it looks like Auto might be challenging him. I don't think that Lexus has the best straight line speed. We've got moves up ahead. Let's go look at that one up ahead here. Oscar trying to look. No, he's not. But Stefan getting the move up into P1 ahead of Pyro. Pyro going very deep there and actually losing the rear a little bit there. Cunnington just managing to save it. So that's Stefan up to P1. Oscar and Cunnington also with some good starts. We've got Pyro and CCK side by side yet again for the second lap in a row into turn 1. I wonder which car has the best straight line speed here. I reckon it'll be the Mazda. And I'll tell you what, that Supra just behind these guys has some straight line speed too. He's not going to go for the move. Auto keeping P6 there ahead of the Supra. Looks like the whole grid is still very close together here. No real gaps all the way down the grid. We will do a quick rundown as Pyro taking advantage of a little mistake there from CCK. And it looks like Auto's going for a move as well here. No, he's not. He's going to back out. But yeah, let's go for the grid quickly. We've got Stefan in P1, followed by Oscar, Cunnington, Pyro, CCK. Auto in P6, getting challenged by Geordie. Joe Leary in P8, followed by his teammate SJK. But this is the drivers all go through there. Good move there from C. Montero. Got Andres in P10, C. Montero P11, JMS P13, Charizard Jezza and Inorganic at the back. Let's go and look at the front of the grid as they come round to the hairpin. One of 2 real overtaking places on this circuit. And I'll tell you what, let's go back here. What's this? Geordie going for a move on Auto. That Super is absolutely rapid in a straight line in his Japanese livery. And there's a spin! Cunnington just getting on the... Oh my god, something big's happened further back there. I'm gonna rewind. I know it's not ideal to rewind here. JMS and Amy just baking far too late, taking out Andres. Cunnington has spun completely on his own, touching the grass. And that is absolutely devastating for these guys. JMS and Amy at the back, but that's fair enough. Those two who were the ones who made the mistake, I'm pretty sure. But Andres has just been punted out of the points through no fault of his own. But we need to go back to the top because Pyro's up to P3, CCK is up to P4, obviously as a result of the spin from the Mercedes. CCK right in the back of Pyro, but I don't think any move's going to happen into this section. You can see how close these guys are together. We got BMW followed by Mazda, followed by Toyota, Lexus, and then the 2 Jaguars in the UPS livery. I saw a little meme that these guys put in the chat about them being slow and driving a truck, but it doesn't look like they're doing too badly so far here in solid points paying positions. I'd be keen to see if Geordie can do some more. Actually, I'm surprised to see him down in this tier. I didn't expect to see him down here, so I'm sure if he can get some form and some confidence back, I'm sure he'll be able to do well this season. CCK still right in the slipstream, sniffing those exhaust fumes of HTTP Pyro. Looks like Oscar's not close enough up ahead to make a move, but CCK is diving down the inside in the braking zone. Can he hit the apex? It was a little bit deep, but it's actually kind of favoured him out there. Pyro unable to get a switch back on, and it looks like Joe Leary going for a move on Auto here. Lexus isn't the best in a straight line, I don't think. So can Joe Leary get a move done here? going up the inside. Little bit of contact there. Doing well to actually avoid everything there, and I think Joe Leary's backing out there to give the position back to Auto. Yeah, it looks like he has done. Very, very good sportsmanship there from Joe Leary, but that's only going to lose those guys time to Geordie. You can see they've dropped quite a bit back now. A little bit of a gap forming behind this top 5, and actually the top 2 really starting to pull away now. The Biazzi really does have good tyre wear, so he'll be looking to get a move done, and tell you what, we might be witnessing it here. Probably not, actually. He's sort of impeded his own exit there, and he's got a second penalty, so that's absolutely going to destroy Oscar's chances at a race win. Stefan's got to take advantage of this now, though. He's going to have a 2-second lead once Oscar gets his penalty served. It'll be interesting to see if he can use that to his advantage. Pyro going deep yet again, not the first time we've seen that. There is a tailwind down that straight, so I need to brake a little bit earlier. It's only 1.5 meters though, so you wouldn't expect it to be affecting him too much. I think Geordie is going to be too far back here. It is a headwind now on this straight, so the slipstream will make more of a difference. I think we had one of the Jaguars with a 2-second penalty in the background there. Geordie going down the inside. Pyro managing to brake later and cut him off. Oscar's 1-second penalty will be served this lap though under the tunnel on the second straight, so I'm sure that will drop him down, potentially even into the battle with Pyro. SJK with a 1.5 second penalty is going to drop him behind Cunningfern soon as well. Andros with a 1-second penalty. Tell you what, these guys are liking to get their penalties right now. Just sort of going through this grid whilst the guys aren't at the straight. And I tell you what, Stefan has just got to the straight now. Let's see how far back this penalty drops Oscar. I think Geordie's made a mistake there. Geordie was up with Pyro. Wait, where's Pyro? What has happened to him? Was Pyro always? No, what's he? What, you can't. What are you doing? Oh my God, Pyro. I mean, it is completely on brand for him, but how has he binned it there? And Geordie's obviously done something similar as well. And I tell you what, SJK might have got the move. O'Leary, sorry, might have got the move done here. If he was in a car with a bit more oomph. SJK is going to drop behind the Mercedes and probably behind. Actually, no, Andres has a penalty as well. But this is really going to shake things up. These penalties here. O'Leary in the slipstream in the Jaguar. This car choice has been absolutely mocked everywhere that I've seen on this server. And he's going to go past the BMW, which is, no, he's not. Pyro's broke later. Pyro's going wide again, yet again missing that apex. I don't think he's hit that apex once. But it's actually going to work out for him. Maybe it's his strategy that he's going for here, sort of going in really deep and sort of going for a late apex to try. Well, it's not an apex, is it? Going as deep as he can to get good acceleration out of that corner. Joe Leary going for a late move down the inside here. Not quite alongside Pyro, again cutting him off as we've seen him doing, braking later on that outside line. And I tell you what, there might be a move further back here. Jezza going for the move on C. Montero. Andres trying to get involved here as well. So as C. Montero hold this round the outside, if he has done, that's absolutely incredible driving. Fantastic from him. We've seen a few guys do that in higher tiers, just holding around the outside of turn 1, and he's actually ruined all his good work there. Going deep, and Jazza getting a bit squirrely there, and that might actually cost C. Montero because he was on his outside. Don't think the BRZ has enough power to get that move done though. Let's go and take a look here. It looks like Joe Leary doesn't have the pace to stay with Pyro, which is what we'd expect from the guy who qualifying on the front row. All very line astern here for the front guys. Big, well not big gaps, but little gaps between them all starting to form. This is where all the race is happening though. P10 down to P15. separated by about 2 or 3 seconds here. I don't think anyone's quite close enough to get a move done here unless we see a mistake somewhere. Already 6 laps in, and I tell you what I have noticed so far is Stefan's starting to lose some time if we look at those front guys. CCK really catching up to him. Amy in the slipstream of the Supra. A little bit of a mismatch here though in terms of straight line speeds. Charizard covering off the front, the inside line, and actually started to pull away from Amy again once she pulled out of slipstream. So Charizard keeps P30, and obviously no points for these positions, but we could see another mistake up ahead. We've seen a couple so far. Amy getting the move done there. That's some great driving. Charizard with a little tap to the rear end, and he's actually lunged one down here. Can't really see much what's going on. Not some great angles with the racing right now. I'm looking up ahead, and there is 2 cars really close together here. Cunning Fern right in the slipstream of Joe Leary. Cunning Fern qualified pretty high up though. Joe Leary's just been having a very consistent race in this UPS Jaguar. Gonna need a good exit here to get the move done, Cunning Fern. So he looks too far back here, but we did see the Supra manage to get an overtake done from a similar distance. Doesn't look like the Mercedes has the bean, so not too sure on the Mercedes top speed. It'd be helpful if someone could let me know whether it's worthwhile watching Cunning Fern when he's in the slipstream of people down the straights. No move on there for C. Montero. Doesn't look like one's on for Black Charizard either. And let's go back to the front of the grid. Let's see the gap that Stefan has over CCK. It's about 2 seconds still. Maybe he hasn't lost as much as I thought he had in the Malibu livery there. See, Mercedes doesn't seem to be working too much for Cunning Fern on the straights, but Stefan up in P1, so it is possible to get the pace out of this Mercedes as I jinx him, and he gets a half a second penalty. He won't serve it this time round. It will be on lap 9. So that's one for us to check out in about a lap's time. CCK and Geordie just setting consistent laps here from Oscar. Sorry, not CCK. Sort of 128s. Geordie's quicker though. Look at that. Low 127s on quite a few of his laps. Auto also sort of hovering around the mid 127 range, and Cunning Fern just got the move done on Joe Leary there, going deep, going round the outside. Really good move there from him. Got some great pace here, Cunning Fern, one lap with a 27 dead compared to Joe Leary, who's doing a high 27s, more consistent than his teammate as well. So it looks like a good performance from Joe Leary here as he goes back up the inside. It does look like that Jaguar has some pretty good straight line speed. Cunning Fern though trying to hold it around the outside. What it does have in straight line speed, it doesn't look like it has it in downforce, as Cunning Fern held it round the outside there. What a move from the Mercedes driver to take him up into the top 7. Got Pyro right on the back of Geordie here as well. Right in the back of Auto, sorry. Haven't been paying too much attention to tyre wear here. It looks like Pyro is going to be perfectly fine this race in terms of tyre wear. We should probably go up to see how far Stefan's penalty drops him, as Auto gets a penalty as well, so he's going to lose the position to Pyro regardless. I think Stefan must have pulled out some time because he's still just ahead. You can see in the braking zone there of CCK. I really want to go and see what's happening up ahead there, as it looks like, yeah, Pyro's getting that move done. Let's see if CCK can do anything. He's actually further back than I thought. I thought he was right behind Stefan there. Let's go back to this one. Just as I was saying that, CCK has closed this gap. I mean, considering Stefan had to serve a half a second penalty, he didn't gain as much as we would have expected there. Only 0.3 of a second gained on that last lap. I think we're going to have one more lap after this one here. I think we've got one. Oh my God, Cunningford! We've just missed what's happened there a little bit. Literally just gone back to it as it was time. He's just punted Auto in the back and lost the rear because of it. Auto does have a 1 second penalty. Is SJK going to be close enough? I don't think he's going to be close enough to get the move done on Cunningford. He's not. But Cunningford with the dirty tyres, will he be vulnerable here to a move? It looks like a good exit from SJK, but I think he's going to be too far back. Cunningford's tyres will be cleaned all the way through here. Yeah, the Jaguar has always had great tyre wear. I remember in season 4, Olive was able to one-stop races when everyone else was having to two-stop when the tyre wear was a little bit worse than it is right now. Geordie has been carrying on with his pace that he's shown so far, right in the slipstream of Oscar, and I'll tell you what, this is a bit of a mismatch. BRZ versus Supra in a straight line. Geordie's not even bothering with the slipstream. He's like, I don't need that. I'm going to do it all by myself, but I don't think he has done. The BRZ can brake really late with its incredible downforce, and he's going to have to wait one more lap here. We do have a battle at the back of the grid though. JMS finally 15th place in the M6, and I tell you what, he's not even going to make the final lap. He's going to come home in 15th behind Charizard, Andres, AB in P12, C Montero in P11. But let's go to the battle up here. I think Stefan is, I mean, that Mercedes, someone, Viking has said that Merc has no straight line speed. CCK is in the slipstream. Stefan trying his best to avoid that slipstream. I think he's done enough here. We need to go back to this battle with Geordie and Oscar as well. Geordie pulling to the outside. Stefan did manage to get into that hairpin perfectly fine on his own. Geordie with a beautiful switchback. Look at that. Great exit from him. And I think that's going to be P3 sorted there. Stefan will come home in P1. Probably less than half a second ahead of CCK, who also took the fastest lap. Good points for him on the board. Geordie comes home in P3, followed by Oscar. Pyro a couple seconds back. O'Leary in P6 with Auto in P7. Cunningford will come home in P8 with SJK in P9, a couple seconds back yet again. And Jezza is the last driver on the lead lap in P10. Everyone managed to finish that race there, as we can see, and it will be reverse grid for the feature race, which we'll go over to next. So yeah, good points on the board for Stefan. And yeah, there was no real teams that had sort of consistent finishes. I mean, Jaguar was like the first one with consistent finishes, but they were quite a way back. I think Mercedes will be top of the constructors after that, though. Actually, Cunningford did come around that midfield P7 kind of area, didn't he? After his little spin earlier on in the race, I think he recovered it quite well. Pyro spin counter equals 1. I think he had 2 there, right? This race is so good. Well, hopefully it can live up to what you're saying here, S. Kelly. Quite a few people in the chat right now. It's quite good to see you guys here. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's a weird time to get a stream done, but yeah, it's a weekend and I've got nothing to do now until the football's on in a bit. Best team in the world playing football in about 2 hours, so everyone can't miss that. In terms of the reverse grid, then, it is just the complete opposite of what we had in the first race. But we've got, I'd assume most people choose start mediums and just go to softs. I think I read on the race preview that was the strategy, and I don't think tyre wear didn't look like it was a problem at all in that sprint race, so I wouldn't be surprised if people can pit around lap 11 to 12 potentially and go and do 15, 16 laps on the softs and say 11 and they were like 2/3 worn. So yeah, I reckon they can do about 15 laps on the softs. But yeah, we've got inorganic in P1 will be on the medium tyres. We've got JMS on the mediums. These guys are both using weak ABS. Oh no, it's just yellow. Okay. Yeah, JMS also on the mediums as well. We've got Black Charizard in the Supra on the mediums. We've got Andres on the softs. He'll be hoping to move well up there early on. Bit of a gamble from him starting back in P4. Amy will be on the mediums. We've got C. Montero on the hards. Alright, well, I don't know why he's done that, but he has, so we move. We've got Jazza in P7 on the mediums. We've got SJK on the mediums too. We've got Cunning Fan on the mediums, Auto on the mediums. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone else will be on the mediums, yep. There we go. So we've got two cars on some different tyres. One of them going for a gamble on the softs, and one of them going for a bit of a surprising choice, going for the hard tyres. Anyway, here we are, getting ready for the start of the race. JMS and Charizard are the two that I'm looking out for here. These guys seem a little bit below where you'd expect on the grid. I tell you what, he's already got the move done there into turn 1. JMS going a little bit on the grass, gonna have to be careful of that, but he's comfortably far ahead here, and it looks like Andres has lost the position despite starting on the softs. That's a disaster for him there, as the grid's getting very close together. Kelly going defensive, SJK sorry, going defensive from Cunning Fern, holding the position very well there. Got more battles. Oh, Geordie's been pushed out wide there. Tell you what, now's not a bad time to lose time. You know, first lap of the race, it's not the end of the world losing positions from P12 to P16. Amy right in the back of Charizard. I think it's more likely Charizard's going to get the move done here on the Atenza, but we'll have a look. Charizard does look for the inside line. I think based on my steward's work, yeah, I thought so. I thought we were going to see a little incident there. Let's go ahead and take a look what happened. I think it was SJK who has reported this to the steward's room. Let's go on board with him, just chilling, and absolutely bunted into the wall. He's got front and rear damage. I think someone else was affected there by that incident, but I don't know who it was. They haven't been affected as much. We do have Amy going defensive from Charizard. A little bit of contact there. It looked like Amy was almost going for a switchback line. Definitely wasn't going to work there. She went far enough behind to get behind Charizard. Oh, big spin from Amy. And there she is, down it, and she's gone. Okay. That's a bit unexpected. JMS with a huge lead here. About 4 seconds already. Charizard holding up the train for him. And everyone's really close together, apart from last place, quite a way off. For SJK, you can see. Literally, we've got sort of similar gaps between P1 and P15, sorry, similar distances apart from the pack. And then P2 to P14, all neck and neck down here. Andres needs to get this move done sooner rather than later. It's easier said than done though, considering he's in the BRZ. He is on soft tyres though, so he can go deeper into turn one. We've got another car going deep here, actually just waiting up for people. Steelfan, has he taken someone out? I'm guessing he's taken out Auto there somewhere. And he's waited up for him, which is great to see. Very sportsmanlike. Doesn't look like Andres is close enough here. Cunningford has made his way. I tell you what, Pyro as well. These two have made their way up really quickly. I think some of that chaos in lap 1 has enabled them to get ahead of a lot of cars here. As Charizard makes a little mistake, Andres round the outside of turn 3. And he's got the move done. Charizard punting someone a little bit wide. Cunningford in the wall there. Jez has followed him off as well. Not the best driving there from Charizard, and that's enabled Pyro to get up to P3 now. I'll tell you what, he's got a huge lead. Bear in mind, the other title favourite is CCK, and he's not even in the top 8. He's not even in the top 8. He's got a massive advantage here. And Cunningford going wide, touching the grass. Jezza is surely going to get past him now because of that mistake. Completely unforced error there from Cunningford, and he's getting a 1-second penalty for Gran Turismo. Just add to his misery there. Jezza already up the inside, and yeah, it's going to be a simple move for him to move further back here. Geordie up past C. Montero. SJK's really recovered this from the back, right up on the back of his teammate here. And I tell you what, he's going to get a switchback on about 4 cars. What? Who spun there? C. Montero, what has happened to him? He just goes deep and spins, and Geordie's gone deep as well. And yeah, SJK's gained 4 positions. Geordie's going to be looking to come back in this little Jaguar sandwich. Got battles up ahead as well. Inorganic going for a move on Oscar. But I think this Supra coming back at the Jaguar is going to be more likely. Looking for a switchback, probably. No, it looks like a good line from SJK there. A little bit of a twitch on the exit, but good defending. Cunningford with his 1-second penalty still hasn't been served here. Looks like more of a train here from P5. Jezza really holding up his teammate actually in this little battle. Gonna potentially affect CCK's CCK's title fight, if it is with Pyro indeed, who is quite a way behind him now. You look at that, about 5 seconds potentially. Completely neck and neck here. This whole field is so tightly packed. Sort of one mistake and you can drop 4 or 5 positions. Let's see how far Cunningford goes down from P6 before the straight. Looks like we've got Geordie making a move on the Jaguar. Oh, Cunningford's unghosted there, and they've had to go either side of him. That's beautiful driving. And look at this. Jez has made a mistake and has lost some positions. He went deep into the hairpin. I think CCK is now at the front of this train. Someone else, Jez has got another penalty for going wide on the exit. Oscar Bacon going for a move up the inside. It's a bit deep there. That's not ideal, is it? He's caused a little bit of contact there. Geordie's made the move on the Jaguar, and SJK's got the switchback on him. And oh no. Okay, he backs out of that move there. I was worried for a second that he was going to go around the outside of Inorganic at that corner, but yeah, very sensibly backs out. There's a Mercedes going for a move there as well on Joe Leary. No, Stefan backs out too. It's good to see. But yeah, in all of that, CCK has made his way to the front of this train and will be chasing after Charizard up in P4. Pyro right in the back of Andres up ahead as well, which is surprising to see. Andres is on the tyre advantage here and he's not able to make use of it. Jezza's penalty is going to drop him down a bit. Let's go on board with Inorganic, see if he can get back. Look at this train here. Inorganic, SJK, Cunningford and Geordie all separated by such little amounts of time. SJK going down the inside, gets a really nice move done there. Inorganic getting pushed wide a little bit by Geordie. 2 Mercedes teammates going side by side as well behind. And Jezza hasn't lost anything there from his penalty. which I think he'll be a bit surprised about. But yeah, it's great from him. Looks like Joe Leary is potentially going for a move on one of the Mercedes drivers here. Stefan's outbroke himself there, going wide, it looks like. Bit of a messy start from him. He won the previous race, didn't he, Stefan? Bit of a sort of day of two halves here for him. What's going on here then? Geordie looking for a move on Cunningford. Looks like he's going to get that done. Really nice move there. And yeah, this is definitely where all the fighting is. Two Jaguars, Supra and a Mercedes. You're going to need a good exit here to defend from the Supra, and I think they get pretty similar exits, so I think it will be Geordie who has the... SJK put his indicator on there, showing him that he's going to the right, so I think he's letting Geordie past here, up the inside. I don't know why else you'd put your indicator on. And tell you what, Cunningford has almost wiped out SJK's got the switch back again. I think Geordie's overtaken him about 3 or 4 times, and every time SJK's just switching back. Pyro is still right in the back of Guardrail Lover. There's another battle up ahead with 3 cars really close together, but I don't want to move away from this one. They're overtaking each other each corner. Geordie's going up the inside this time, and surely this time he'll get it done. He's at least a car length ahead here. Just hit your braking point and keep it tight. It looks like he is... yeah, he's going to get the move done there finally. Geordie, he looks like he has some serious pace this weekend. It'll be good to see if he can chase ahead and maybe get himself into this battle sooner rather than later, especially if they're going side by side in this middle section. Oscar ahead of Charizard, ahead of Jezza. Jezza had a bit of a chaotic race so far. Charizard doesn't quite seem to have the pace of his teammate around here. Oscar getting very squirrely on the exit there. Is Pyro close enough to get a move done? No, he's not. CCK in a bit of no man's land, about a second or two up ahead of these guys here. I mean, look at Geordie. Geordie's already almost caught on the back of these guys. Battles further... oh, there's actually a move there. Charizard, what's Charizard doing? He's just stopped on the apex. Is that a bit of gamesmanship there from the Toyota, trying to hold up the car behind to let his teammate through? Joe Leary going for a move here in the slipstream. Not going to get the move done there. I don't actually know. The Mercedes, we saw this battle in the sprint race, didn't we? The Mercedes doesn't have the same straight line speed as the Jaguar. Up the inside for Joe Leary. Can he get it stopped? So he can really late on the brakes there. Tell you what, he's broke later than Cunningford, and Cunningford's still gone deeper into the corner. Let's see what Black Charizard is going to do here. He started really high up in this race, and he's just been dropping throughout this race. SJK looking for a move up the inside, backs out sensibly. Going to wait till the straight if he can. So what, 2 people who have really impressed me with their racing so far is Geordie. Has done a fantastic job from the back of the grid. Hasn't really had positions handed to him like we saw with CCK and Pyro. And also SJK really sort of crafting their moves one by one, making their way up the grid. It looks like Geordie might have a move up ahead. Just going to stick on this one just to the end of the straight, I think. SJK going round the outside of the Supra. The Supra's going to get the better exit though. And I think it has a bit more straight line speed, but also, actually no. The Jaguar with the acceleration, he's already got the move done. Round the outside there. Oscar Bacon and Jezza side by side into this corner. Can Jezza get... oh no, a little bit of contact there. And Oscar's in the grass a little bit there, and he's going to have to tuck him behind. SJK did keep the position ahead of Charizard. Cunningfern ahead of Steofan just behind as well. Oh, and it's a mistake from Jezza. Jezza is having an awful week here. He seems like he's got some real pace in that car as well. He's just making mistakes every 2-3 laps. And all of a sudden, one driver makes a mistake. We've got a cluster of 5 cars. Let's go ahead to see Oscar. Oh, Oscar has a penalty, so that's not going to be too much of a difficult battle there. Jezza got Charizard right behind him. Look at this, 6 cars, bumper to bumper. This is what we like to see. This is why you race in ALR. Racing, okay, that bit is not why you race in ALR. Steofan punting his teammate wide, but the people this close is why you race in ALR. Had to curse it there, didn't I? Pyro still hasn't been able to get the move on Andres, despite looking like the faster driver in that battle up in P2. I know we've barely watched that front 4, but how can you step away from these battles? We've got 6 cars separated by maybe 2 to 3 seconds. Looks like Joe Leary getting... Oh! Somehow they've made it through that corner. It didn't look like it at the halfway point. They're going 2 by 2 here through the S's. Joe Leary's got the move done, I think. I think Joe Leary wasn't at the front. Steofan definitely wasn't at the front either. And now Auto's pushing his way through. No, Auto's getting pushed out wide from Charizard. I think he's done that a few times there from Charizard. Gonna have to clean up his act together. Not sure if I don't think he's actually been reported, but I mean, I think definitely some of those would have been punished by the stewards if they were reported. Let's take a breather now. Oh, for God's sake, I've just come off this battle and we've got someone sideways. It is Charizard yet again. What's happened to him here? That is far more than 10 seconds, right? Yeah, he's just stepped on the gas far too soon there. That's a bit of an error you don't expect someone of Charizard's experience to be making, but JMS has been fantastic so far. Look at those laps, so consistent, mid-28s throughout. Really good drive from him, and he has earned himself a gap of, well, let's see, as he crosses the line at 14 minutes 50. He's got over a 5-second lead here to Andres with Pyro behind him, CCK 3 or 4 seconds behind those 2 guys. Geordie has also made his way up, sort of leading Oscar by about 2 seconds. Geordie's with very inconsistent laps. That shows how he was battling there around at P3 to 6 time, and he's lost so much time to the leaders just through that battling. But you can see on pace he's quicker than JMS. Best lap time 27.9. He's also set a 28.3 on the last lap, so when he's in clean air, Geordie is a threat in this race. Oscar also setting pretty decent laps as he goes purple in sector 1 there as well. Not quite got the consistency. I think it's more from him getting penalties as he goes and gets another one, just to prove my point, and he might lose a place to SJK there, so we need to go through quickly here. SJK obviously been battling the whole time. I think these guys here and below have been battling all race, so I don't think we've had a clean lap from any of these guys here yet. O'Leary with Steofan and Cunningfern behind him. Steofan's looking for a move up the inside there. I think Joe Leary's going to hold it though with the straight line speed. I'm surprised Cunningfern isn't bug drafting his teammate here. I mean, you would have thought he would have had the opportunity to do that there, but he doesn't do so. Steofan having to get the car right slowed down, taking a narrow exit to avoid Joe Leary. Surely you just got to tuck in. You've got a headwind. This is where the slipstream it makes the most difference. Joe Leary's pitting on lap 11. Nobody else has pitted yet. That, oh my, Andres has got a penalty. It looks like his pace has started to come back to him as well on those soft tyres. I don't think he was in for a chance to win. You know, losing time to JMS. But yeah. He could have maybe got like a top 5 if he carried on these mediums in his second stint. If the softs will go from lap 11, you'd expect Andres to have about 5. I mean, look at his tyre wear. He could do about 10 more laps in these tyres. It's fuel that's the limiting factor for him, not the tyres. Pyro up to P2. We've got a BMW P1 and P2 now. And you'd expect these guys to just run away with it unless... No, CCK has a lot worse fuel. JMS into the pits now, lap 12. So it seems like that was the plan. I think Ross mentioned the Jaguar had a really good tyre life. And actually, let's look at SJK's tyres compared to... I mean, yeah. Either these Jaguars are really good on their tyres, or SJK saying lap 11 was our plan. So he's gone one extra. CCK really poor tyre wear right now, but let's see who stays out a bit more. The Supra staying out, which is to be expected. That car eats its tyres for breakfast. Andres obviously staying out because you want to do more than half the race on the softs here, it seems. Oscar in P3, Jezza in P4, Stefan P5, Cunnington P6. JMS is the first of the pitters, if that's a word. Auto and Inorganic both haven't pitted, holding up Pyro. CCK, if he can get some good time gained here, he'll be licking his lips. Black Charizard in P12, OG, C Monteros are in P13, still haven't pitted either. SJK in P14, and he's got a big gap to O'Leary. I mean, look at the fuel difference these guys have put in their car. That might be why O'Leary has messed up. I think he's put a full tank of fuel, O'Leary, costing him that big undercut that the guys were talking about in the chat. Let's look if Pyro can get past as soon as possible. He almost loses it there. I think the M6 is a car that, last time I drove it anyway, you had to be really nice and cautious and steady getting on the throttle. But he does get the move done on the Mazda Atenza. Quite nice to see some different cars. This is why we love it here. You know, everyone gets a choice of cars, and you can't use a car that anyone else has used. You wouldn't see a car like a Mazda Atenza in daily racing, so it's great to see those. We do have a lot of the OP cars though this season. It looks like it is so we have 5 cars banned each season, so I'm guessing these ones were all banned last season and now they're back in rotation, so there's still a bit of variety on the grid. Steofan is pretty close to Cunnington here, but let's look where Geordie came out. S. Kelly going for a move round the outside of Jezza. Jezza's on fresh softs as well. What a move. Looked comfortable as well. Pretty easily done there. Really catching C. Montero as well, who's on the hards. Geordie, I think going longer has actually helped these guys here. I don't think the pace difference between the mediums and softs was enough to offset the fuel difference. I think Geordie's got a bit of an overcut actually compared to what I'd expect. Auto's got past Pyro. No, Auto hasn't pitted. Okay, my bad. I want to know where Jezza's pace from last season went. Well, Jezza has some incredible pace when you look at his times. He just can't string a lap together. That's his problem today. He keeps making mistakes all the time. Pyro's going to get this move done over the Lexus pretty simply. Let's go back and look what's happening here. Jezza looking for a move on SJK. Oh, SJK outbraking himself, doing really well to avoid C. Montero there, moving off to the side. Tell you what, I was lucky we just randomly switched to this battle and caught that. I think he's going to get the move done here as well. That Atenza does look like a bit of a bus, both visually and pace-wise. Yeah, the Jaguar up the inside here. It's a bit of a mismatch on tyres, isn't it? Softs v hards. No wonder he's got such a better exit. And Jezza's going for it as well here. Very opportunistic from him. And I think he's going to get it done, you know. He can just go flat out around the outside here on the tyre advantage. But does he know about C. Montero's hard? C. Montero was great defending there on the hard compound tyre. Very promising from him. Tell you what, if he chose the mediums instead of the hards, simple sort of rookie mistake, isn't it? But if he did choose, I mean, look how far these Subarus are going. If he did choose the mediums instead of the hards, he might have been in for a good result here. This is the closest battle on track. We've got CCK in the slipstream of Inorganic. Pretty regulation move down the inside here, as they've got quite similar liveries, these two cars, don't they? They are both Mazdas. Going for a similar colour scheme here with the green and orange and the green and red. Inorganic does come into the pits to bin off those medium tyres, unleashing CCK. About 5 seconds behind Pyra here, who's a further 3 seconds behind JMS. He's been catching JMS here. And last time we looked, the gap was over 5 seconds. Obviously, Guardrail Lover is well ahead, but he is a bit out of sync. And I don't think he's got enough of a gap to stay out in first when he comes into the pits. I think he'll come out around sort of this battle here. It's got S. Kelly pulling away from Jezza a little bit there. I think Jezza must have had a penalty there to lose such a big amount of time. Got Oscar right on the back of C. Montero. He's dived down the inside very late on there. I think just caught C. Montero a little bit unaware of the car behind. We've got 3 cars here, all in slipstream. Steelfan's going to have to get this move done sooner rather than later. C. Montero yet to pit, of course. I'd be surprised if he doesn't come into the pits this lap. It feels pretty low and he's on hard compound tyres. And it's simple to go on soft to the end here. It doesn't come in. A bit perplexed about that. Guardrail Lover's actually come out in P3. He's lost less time than I expected. He is on the mediums to the end here, but he's on fresh mediums. We've got 13 of the 15 cars remaining, all in Sector 2 right now. As we've got another spinner. Who's this? Steofan. I think we've seen him go around a couple times already today in the nicest way possible. Let's see what happened to him here. Just a bit of contact and into the wall he goes. Dropping himself all the way down to P13 by the end there. I'm interested to see how far Andres does fall back here. What's the gap that he's got over Geordie? End of the blue at 25.40 and Geordie end of the blue at about 25.18, so about 4 seconds gap to Geordie. I'd imagine the softs will have that pace advantage over the mediums across the final 10 laps. So that could be one to watch out for towards the end of the race. It looks like there's about 3 seconds between each of these cars here now. Jez has picked it up there. Last lap 28.2. Pretty solid lap on those soft tyres, it looks like. We do have Steofan with a 27 dead. He has some great pace, just can't... I'm not sure what it is with Steofan, just hasn't been able to sort of keep the consistency that he had in the first race. Oscar with a 27.3, so he's on fire. Actually, Jezza with a 27.1, SJK with a 27.5, Geordie with a 27.5 as well. So we can see times are starting to crumble down now as the sun comes out in Switzerland. Shadows all over the track. Geordie is on a purple lap here in the first sector. Let's go on board with him. Let's see if he can keep this going. You want to use a bit of this curb on the right, shift down to, okay, not second. Don't use second for that corner there. It's a 3rd or 4th gear corner. This one is a second. Thread the throttle in, use the curb if you have to. Not quite gonna get the slipstream off guardrail lover, I don't think here. I think he actually might have got the slipstream if he didn't shift down to second. He's still 1/10 up on his best. Here you want to brake just under this sign, between the sign and the curb. Geordie braking at the curb is a little bit too late. As you can see, missing the apex as we see Andres get another 1 second penalty there up ahead. And I think this is going to be about 27.5 again from Geordie. He is in the slipstream now though, I would say. Yeah, 27.4 from Geordie. Behind him we've got SJK on a 27.9, Jezza on a 27.4 and Oscar on a 27.4. So it looks like these guys are coming back at the Jaguar now. Sort of really good racecraft from SJK to make his way through the field steadily and safely as well. But it doesn't look like he has quite the same outright speed as Jezza or Oscar, which I think is what was expected here. Cunningfern also able to set times in 27.4s. It looks like a lot of the grid are able to set similar times. Joe Leary here with a 27.5, really good lap from him. I do miss the Jaguar being an OP beast. Have we got a move done here? We do. Geordie getting past guardrail lover because of that penalty. Tell you what, Pyro is right on the back now of JMS Play. Another one who's right on the back of the driver head, Jezza, really close to the Jaguar here. And I think Joe Leary's right on the back of Cunningfern. So we're starting to get some more battles here now. Definitely not going to be a move there. Oscar with another penalty. What are you doing? Who is that handsome guy with the fastest lap? Oh, that's nothing. Auto 26.7 and still can't make it into the top 10. That's poor consistency from him, as was gracefully pointed out in the chat from Auto Ratalan. Looks like we might have a move here. Jezza right in the back of the Jaguar. I'm quickly pop ahead to the battle at the top. No, I think it's a bit too far. Still about a second and a half gap there. CCK in P3 and Geordie in P4 quite a way off. Guardrail is going to be getting a penalty here. Looks like SJK's had a really good second half to this middle sector and has pulled out a little bit over Jezza, and I think it's probably going to be enough to keep the position as Andres drops down to P7. Jezza going deep there. Andres going to be looking back at him, potentially. I don't think that BRC quite has a straight line speed of the Mazda, but we'll see. I mean, he's going for it, isn't he? No, he's not. Jezza comfortably staying ahead in the braking zone. We do have Cunningford with a beautiful switchback on Oscar Bacon. That's how you do it. Tell you what, that switchback into turn one is very satisfying when it works. That's the great thing about this track, is there's so many ways to overtake at turn one. We've seen people hold it around the outside, we've seen people get a move up the inside, and we've seen people get a switchback. It's not so simple where you just park it on the apex and there's nothing the guy behind can do. You actually have to have some skill in your overtaking and defending to get the move done there. It's not so guaranteed that you get past in before the braking zone, which I think is what we all like to see. Moves where you actually have to work for the overtake, where it's not impossible to get moves done. Saying that, any mistake into the hairpin does really put you under threat for turn one. We do have two guys here side by side. Cunning going deep to get the move done round the outside. Can he get a good exit? He's going to tuck back in. to Oscar Bacon. Looks like the top three are getting really close on track here as well. CCK must be setting some fantastic laps. Cutting, trying it round the outside. It's not going to be happening against the BRZ, is it? Those two still split by a little amount of time. Geordie still in no man's land. And yeah, look at that. CCK probably about 2 seconds behind Pyro now. And probably 4 or 5 behind SJK, behind JMS, sorry. It was about 10 seconds at the start of the stint. And yeah, these three all sort of almost able to read each other's number plates now. But this is where the action is right now. Let's go on board with Cunningford in the slipstream of the BRZ. He's going to try for the outside move again. So he got traction control on. I think his car sort of seemed like it was getting held up a little bit there. I think I heard a bit of traction kicking in. Kind of stopped his run outside of that, and yeah, this Mercedes has no beans. Just you can see it almost top out on the straight there. It was gaining on the Mazda, and then all of a sudden, all of that on the Subaru, sorry, it was gaining on the Subaru, and then all of a sudden, its momentum just halted, and it just kind of started treading water. SJK kicking up a little bit of dust there, trying to put off the opposition behind him, but it's not going to work. Jazza very experienced in this league now. Not the best exit though. And I tell you what, there's some fighting going on here for P2. CCK going forward, a switchback on Pyro, right in his slipstream here. Yeah, Pyro not with the best laps recently. Looks like he's gone off the boil a little bit here. 26.8 on lap 19, and his previous lap was about 1.5 seconds slower than that one. CCK getting up the inside here. Is he going to be able to cut across in time? No, he's not. We've seen Pyro go around the outside a few times here. He's going to go for the switchback, and he's just going to bin it. He's just got far too excited there. He's seen his name up in lights. He's like, I can get a beautiful switchback. And he's floored it for the switchback, forgetting the fact that you need traction to get a switchback done. And you can't just floor it in second gear whilst you're turning fully. And that's put Geordie right on his back now. And it actually, even worse for the BMW driver, unleashes CCK on JMS. The gap is about 3 or 4 seconds, but CCK has been putting in some stellar laps, so consistent from him. And now we've got battles for P3, for P5 here as well. I think Geordie's a bit too far back, but Jazza is definitely not too far back here. If he can sit behind in the hairpin, get a good exit from the hairpin, I reckon this move is doable in turn 1. I mean, look at that, we've got 7, 8, 9 cars on this straight here. Yeah, 10 cars on this one straight. Fantastic that after 36 minutes of racing, these guys... Jezza, what was I saying about being cautious, following SJK through the straight? And he's another one just getting a bit excited on the throttle, a bit trigger happy, instead of focusing on getting a smooth exit and getting the move done on... Obviously we've seen how good slipstream is down the straight with the headwind. Doesn't manage to hold his nerve and loses a little bit of time. Pyro going deep there, another little unforced error. Geordie is going to be right in his slipstream, giving him pressure through set 2. You're not going to get a move done in set 2. You're not going to win the race here, but you definitely can lose it. So easy to get a penalty from going wide on the left under the tunnel there. Let's go on board with Geordie. Obviously, the Supra isn't known for its prowess in slow, so he always goes through his second gear. I don't understand that. It's like a fourth gear corner, at least it used to be. Sort of coast it round it in fourth, or sort of on the limiter in third, it used to be. And he's also revving out the Supra, which, take it from someone who's one of my favourite cars to drive in this class is the Supra. That's not how you drive the Supra. You short shift this car like crazy and it makes it even quicker. Geordie doing well to avoid pyro there. I'm sure the report would have been straight in the stewards room after if Geordie had taken that pyro there from a podium position. But he does well to just get the car stopped. So what, if we do see a little instant between those two guys, SJK is not out of the question for a podium. Looks like he's gained a little bit on Jezza. These guys have been, I mean, the whole stint really, these guys have been separated by absolutely nothing. We saw SJK get a move around the outside of Jezza right at the beginning of this stint, and they've just been trading laps. Yeah, SJK very consistent every single lap for the past 8-9 laps. All but one for the past 10 laps has been within a 27.5 to a 27.7. And then we've got Jezza, who has more pace, but it's just whether he can put it together for a lap and get a good exit and get the move done. So you'd like to favour Jezza here in this battle. You know, he has the pace, he has the better car as well, definitely. And if he can get an exit like that, he might be able to get this done. We're really approaching the end of the race now as well, so he's going to have to get this done now if he's ever going to want to get it done. We might need to go to the battle for P1, I think, as soon as we've got past this corner. SJK manages to hold on, defending very nicely there, cutting across in front of Jezza, but this is where we want to be. CCK right on the back of JMS, gets into P1. Can he hold it around the outside? We've got lap traffic on the inside. Chopper's please back out. He does. JMS braking so late. CCK going forward, a cutback. I mean, we can just let the racing do the talking here. JMS has got the move. CCK's got a little bit squirrely there. And he's going to have one final opportunity. We've got less than a minute to go. Final lap of the race here. CCK right behind JMS. Should we go on board with CCK? Let's do it. In the cockpit cam. JMS with not the best exit. It's now or never for CCK. This is do or die. He's not going to get a chance to do it into turn one. He's going to have to do it into the hairpin. Does he go for a massive lunge up the inside? Does he try to go really deep round the outside? He goes up the inside. He's got the position. He just has to park it on the apex and not let JMS switch back. Little bit of contact. JMS is in the slipstream. I tell you what, this isn't over. This is not over. JMS round the outside. They go neck and neck. JMS is in the lead. CCK hits the wall. He's just not paying attention to the wall, and JMS has cleared him before the start of finish straight. CCK comes home in second. Pyro comfortable third. Geordie in fourth, with SJK just a couple or just about a second behind him. Jez has run out of fuel as well. This could be another position loss. Cunningburn, it's going to be another photo finish. Just takes it on the line ahead of Jezza. And Auto P8, O'Leary P9, Oscar P10, Stefan P11, Andres P12 out of fuel, and Simonto will probably get that position done before the end. Let's take a little look at what happened to CCK here. He had the move done. What does he do? He gets up the inside. He's just got to prevent the switchback. He goes so slow here to try and prevent the switchback. He's got traction control stopping him from getting... He misses a shift. I think he hit the rev limiter there in third. And now he's probably just doing this, not paying attention to where he's going, and hits the wall on the left. And it's just simple for JMS. I'm pretty sure CCK hitting the limiter in third gear there has cost him the race victory and 2 points. He's also got onto the curbs for no reason, which is just going to hinder it. He does hit the limiter. You can see JMS just suddenly gain all that time. And I tell you what, he must be kicking himself there, CCK. He's cost himself this race from one simple lapse of concentration. And JMS gets the first victory of the season. It will be CCK, I believe, who is leading the championship, though, after round one. Let's see if Montero did get the move done. I'm pretty sure he would have done. Yeah, he did. Up to P12 there. And Andres, under fuel in the car, getting loads of penalties at the end. Finishing a lonely P13. But I can't believe CCK has missed that shift and has cost himself the race by such a simple lapse of concentration. But it just goes to show what fine margins you have when the racing is this close. You know, any little mistake and that's it. It's not showing the limit here, but yeah, that was the moment it was done. You'll just see JMS all of a sudden just gain so much time here, there. It's such a rookie error. And that is the moment it was done. But yeah, that will be everything for the Tier 4 stream. Round 1. It is JMS who takes victory. CCK leads the way in the standings with 2 P2s. Steofan with a P1 in the sprint race just couldn't do anything in that second race. I don't know what it was, just like nothing. Nothing went well for him in that second race. Let me take a look at the quick standings pre-stewards. It is CCK. 8 points ahead of Geordie with a P3 and a P4. Pyro will be in third with JMS and Steofan, the 2 race winners, in fourth and fifth. And then best of the rest was SJK with a P9 and P5. And that is where we leave things off then in Switzerland. Next time it will be Chaos Mode activated for Belgium. Yeah, Spa-Francorchamps with rain settings throughout, and we'll see how the drivers deal with that. I've already seen some crazy things come up in chat throughout the tiers. So I think actually this tier was one of the ones that mentioned about potentially starting on Inters, just in case the rain came on, even if it weren't starting at the start. But we'll see how things pan out. I think it will be Boomer next week streaming, but it might be myself, depending on how things go. But yeah, thank you for everyone tuning in and making it a pleasure to be streaming this race for you guys. And yeah, any feedback appreciated, and make sure to subscribe if you're new. We've had a lot of subscribers coming in recently with our YouTube shorts, and I tell you what, potentially we might have another one here from CCK just throwing away his race win, pretty much. There's no other way of saying it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next week for Belgium.